The ancient Egyptians' view towards death was influenced by their belief in immortality. They regarded death as a temporary interruption rather than the end of life. They too believed in a continuity of life. Their culture embraced the concept of life after death. Egyptians used a board game of death, similar to our modern Ouija board. This was used to commune with the deceased around 3,500 years ago. There have been mediums for centuries, if not millennia. They were not always called mediums. In ancient Greece, they were known as the gods, and in Rome, they went by the name of oracles, seers and sibyls. They were the communicators with the ancestors. In China and the Far East, the augurs, the diviners, the Persians had their own beliefs in communicating with the dead. Ancient Druids believed and taught about death and the afterlife. They believed in the thinning of the veil between this world and the next. They lived in constant communication with their ancestors. Samhain was marked by great gatherings and feasts, and was when the ancient burial mounds were open, which were seen as portals to the other world. This was the time of year that the ancient Druids and Celts believed that the veil between this world and the next was at its thinnest. We celebrate a version of this ancient celebration of the dead and have called it Hallows Eve or Halloween. The Christian Bible, there is a very detailed account of Saul attending a seance, a sitting, with a medium from Endor. This woman or witch of Endor communicated with spirits by using a method of clairvoyance. By seeing them in her mind and describing what she saw, she was able to satisfy the king that she was in touch with Samuel and to lead Saul in conversation with the dead man. The Romans used a method of spirit communication called tromancy. They placed letters of the alphabet in a circle on the ground and put a small pile of grain beside each letter. A rooster was placed in the center of the circle, and it was then noted what letters the rooster pecked at. Thus words were spelled out, and this was a form of a very primitive talking board. In the Middle Ages, magicians, sorcerers practiced necromancy, believing that the way to contact spirits was to dig up a corpse and through a complicated ritual give it back the power of speech. It then could be questioned about matters in the spirit world. In the mid-19th century, the country witnessed the birth of modern spiritualism. This could all be traced back to the raps and knocking on the walls and ceilings and floors of the Fox sisters in their home in Hydesville, New York, in 1848. The spiritualist movement would go on to see many methods of spirit communication emerge. The boom of the movement also happened during a time when the nation was in the midst of the bloody and horrific American Civil War. Today, spiritualism is very much alive, and its churches can be found throughout many states. The advancement of spirit communication has come a long way from ancient times. Science today is starting to take notice of the methods that are being used and looking at them in a new light. The field of spirit communication has had many dedicated individuals give spirit a voice throughout the years. Marcello Bacci, Joe Shield, Annabella Cardosa, John Holland, and numerous television shows. Pete Sanders has written many books on a science standpoint, and the hit show Kindred Spirits has presented great evidence of the continuity of life. The work of Ron Iacovetti and Lourdes Gonzalez through their organization Gonyak Paranormal have been carrying on the legacy of many of the ITC founders and specialize in the technique of direct radio voice, DRV. Kim, the ghost history medium, combines her mediumship science, and love of history to document the evidence of spirit at all the locations she investigates. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we truly hope you enjoy the presentation.